Hey guys, SpinoDude here and welcome back to another video. Today guys, we're going to be taking a look at a 2017 CollectA figure. So let's have our co-host Marvin bring it out. Thank you, Marvin. Alright guys, so today we're going to be taking a look at this. It is the CollectA 2017 Regaliceratops. If you've been staying tuned to the channel, you'll remember that we got this figure as part of our 2017 Christmas Spectacular. And if you want to get this figure for yourself, you can head on over to www.everythingdinosaur.com. So without further ado guys, why don't we dive straight into the review. Before we take a closer look at the figure, here are a few quick facts about Regaliceratops itself. Regaliceratops peterhusi means royal horned face. It was a ceratopsian from the Cretaceous period of what is now North America. Regaliceratops is a very recent discovery, being named and described back in 2015. It is known from a single skull, which exhibits unique ornamentations compared to its relatives. Regaliceratops was unearthed in the St. Mary River Formation in Canada, a location also known for having remains of Pachyrhinosaurus and Albertosaurus. So without further ado guys, let's start taking a closer look at this spectacular ceratopsian. Alrighty guys, so here is the 2017 CollectA Regaliceratops. And for first impressions, wow. I love this figure right off the bat. I'm just gonna say it, I absolutely love it. This figure is absolutely tiny, if you can see the size of my fingers compared next to it. And it's just absolutely stunning. The colors and the details for the size of the figure overall just come together really nicely here. Like I said, the scaling detail here is beautifully done, as you can see close up. All of the scales are individually carved into the sculpt, and you can see that there's these larger, bumpier scales protruding from the skin on this Regaliceratops. And it's actually now known that ceratopsians had these larger scales running down their body. You can see they're on both sides of the animal there. And it's really nice to see that CollectA is keeping up to date with the latest scientific research and discoveries on certain species and types of dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures. The legs are very nicely done as well. You can see all the toned musculature in the limbs there. And you can see that the Regaliceratops is sort of crouching down with its pose here. And you can really tell that the front limbs on this figure are supporting this animal's heavy weight. The feet are very nicely done as well, and you can see that the claws on the animal's feet are done in a black color. The tail is also really nicely done and also features some quills which run down starting right above the animal's hips and running down the base of the tail. I think the quills really add a lot to this figure's overall appearance. And here's a closer look at that beautifully sculpted head. You can see the eye is done in a glossy black color to give it a genuine wet and reflective look. The nostrils are also carved out in the sculpt on the end of the snout there, and you can see the signature 3 horns that Regaliceratops is known for having. The frill is also very nicely done with the unique ornamentation that Regaliceratops is known for having. Also, the beaked mouth is open on the sculpt, and you can see the tongue sticking out from the inside, and the interior has been painted in a fleshy pink color. It's just hard to see in there because this figure is so small. Now, the colors on this figure are absolutely spectacular. I think the colors have to be my favorite part of this figure overall. It's so naturalistic and so exotic at the same time, which is what I really like to see in dinosaur figures. The mixing of the browns and the reds and the whites on the face especially reminds me of an almost tribal color scheme. You can see that the main body is done in a tan color with a cream colored underbelly with some dark brown stripes and markings. And the head is done with some dark brown markings all the way around the frill and the face. Then we have this bright fiery red color going around the eye and hooking up around the frill. And then we have the 2 eye spots on the frill which are done in white colors, and those actually remind me of a cobra. I think the pose on this figure is also really nice. It's unique because it almost looks like this Regaliceratops is in a drinking pose. It's very stable as well, so you don't really need to worry about it tipping over. Also, this figure does have an alternate pose that I discovered as I was fooling around with it a little bit. If you tip it back on its tail, it can actually stay there if you position it correctly, like so. Now, I'm not an expert on whether or not ceratopsians could rear up like this, but I think this looks really nice and super dynamic. It'd be cool to have two of these figures and have one of them on the ground in a drinking pose and one of them sort of rearing up, perhaps defending its herd against a predator. Alright, so why don't we do a quick measurement of this figure? So Marvin, why don't you bring out the ruler? Thank you, Marvin. Alright guys, we've got our trusty flexi ruler now, so let's give this Regaliceratops a measure. So in terms of the length from the tip of the horn all the way to the tip of the tail, we are looking at about 5 inches. And in terms of the highest point, which is the top of the back here, we are looking at a little under 2 inches. Alright, for a quick comparison, I thought I'd bring out the Papopachyrhinosaurus. Now sadly, the Papopachyrhinosaurus is being retired from Papo's prehistoric animal range, so it's no longer going to be made. But I'm happy that I did manage to pick up a copy of this figure for myself. And remains of Pachyrhinosaurus were actually found in the same dig site that Regaliceratops was discovered in. Also, just so we can have another CollectA figure out for comparison, I thought I'd bring out the CollectA Ankylosaurus. I think all these figures look quite nice with each other, although the Regaliceratops is very small next to the Papopachyrhinosaurus. Alrighty guys, it's time for my overall rating on this figure, and as I was thinking about it, I really have no complaints with this figure at all, really. Although it is small, it has great quality for the price you're paying for this figure, and it's very reasonably priced. The color scheme is absolutely spectacular. I love the colors they've gone for here, and it's one of the few figures of Regaliceratops we have out there. So with all that in mind, I think this figure deserves a 5-star legendary rating. This little figure actually exceeded my expectations when I got it in hand. It's overall beautifully done and very reasonably priced, like I said, and I highly recommend adding this one to your collection, especially if you're a fan of new and obscure species of dinosaurs, and if you're a fan of ceratopsians in general. So big round of applause to CollectA. I think this is one great little gem from them. Well, there we go guys, that was today's look at the 2017 CollectA Regaliceratops. Like I said, I think this figure is absolutely fantastic for its size overall. If you're a fan of ceratopsians and new dinosaur species, I highly recommend picking this one up, and if you want to get one for yourself, I highly recommend going to www.everythingdinosaur.com for great service and fast shipping. So anyway guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel. Also leave a comment telling me what you think of this figure. So thank you so much guys for watching, and as always I will see you in my next video. Take care, and bye bye.